Okay, we're live. So anyone that's going to be watching this on the replay, excuse my terrible hair right now. Anyone will be watching this on the replay, skip along about 5 minutes because that's the sort of time period I take just to wait for others to join. So, hello, how you doing? Yeah, we're going to give it around about the 5 minute mark before I actually get on to the main purpose of this video. Just give people some time to join and have a chat. Can't chat watching on TV. Hi, Danielle. Hi, everyone else. Oh, there's quite a few of you jumped on. Hello. Yeah, this is really close, by the way, because I'm positioned in my front room at the minute. I won't be showing you the new room yet because it's not finished. So you'll have to put up with being quite close with terrible lighting and even worse hair. I've actually been cleaning my old flat today, so I'm in a bit of a state all round at the moment. Hi, guys. Hey, Gar. Hi, Greg. So I didn't expect so many of you to pop on straight away. We'll give it another 3-4 minutes and I'll crack on with what I want to tell you. How's the new background for the videos going? Yeah, it's going all right. It's all still a bit all over the place at the minute, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Hi, Gandalf. Ugh. Yeah, you're just gonna have to put up with me just sitting here for a couple more minutes. So, so what's everyone been up to? How's your day? If you hear any background noise, by the way, my mum's in there and my brother's in there, so they're going to be yapping. Yeah, so we've got quite a few bits to go over today. And be talking about some of the past projects that look like they never ever happened, that are coming back, which I'm quite excited to talk about. The progress of the room, the whole relaunch, just basically how everything's going, and some of the really cool stuff that's going to be coming up, which I can't wait to show you when it's available. Well, I'm glad that you're out of the hospital, though, Greg. Oh, my brother's there. Back at work tomorrow. Most of the week off. I'd love to have had most of the week off. I've been doing everything in between my shifts. I took no time off for this move whatsoever. No worries, Gar. Mate, if you don't want to be watching, replaying the live stream, just message me after work tomorrow or something and I'll tell you everything that I covered. It's no problem. I'm going to give it another like minute and a half and then we'll crack on with exactly what I want to talk about. What do I do for a living? A few people know what I do for a living. I don't really want to be talking about it on the live stream. It's nothing fancy. Let's put it that way. I am going to Bedford. Yeah, I'll be in Bedford and in Brighton this year. As for next year, I'm going to have to cut down the amount of shows that I go to because they've cost me an absolute bomb. BTS next year is a definite must. Western show is quite easy-ish for me to get to, so that's going to definitely happen. But Southern, Eastern, Northern, they're unlikely to happen next year. Hi, Peter. How you doing? Oh, I got people messaging me now. Who's messaging me? Have I ever been to Amsterdam? I haven't. No. I want to go over to the Ham show one year. I've really looked into that quite a lot and that looks fantastic, but I just haven't really got a way of getting there and I don't have the money for flights. I don't drive to use the Eurotunnel, so but I'd love to go to the Ham show. I'm planning on a spending spree. It's just after your birthday. Yeah, Greg, that would be class. Should do that. I'll be looking forward to seeing what you pick up. I've never been to the Bedford show. So last year was the first one, I think, wasn't it? The Eastern show. I'm pretty sure last year was the first one, and I couldn't make it then. So I'm quite excited to see what it's like. Is it a small venue? Is it similar to Brighton size? Because I remember Brighton being fairly small. I'm just curious. I have no idea what to expect. So, man, you've not been to shows, but you are this year. Looking forward to going. Any tips? Is just enjoy yourself. Don't. It's a balance you've got to get right as well at these shows. So when you first go in there, that's the time to snatch up the things you really, really want. Spot it, get it, because if you don't, someone else will. But at the same time, if you spend all your money at one table straight away and you run out, you might see something you didn't even think about would be at this show that you really want later on. So you've got to get that balance right. So always keep that little bit of set budget to one side. But also, if you have something like a dream invert there, just snatch it up when you can, because a lot of us have come across things, thought we'll go back to it, have a think about it, and then it's gone. It's absolutely gone. So I'm going to have to start talking about what we're going to get into in a minute. So I have to lean, as you can tell, really far forward to actually read what you're saying. So I might be ignoring you for a little bit while I get onto this. So first of all, relaunch stuff. That's going to be happening probably September, hopefully the start of September, because I would have had my old house cleaned up, trying to get my deposit back on that, which is what I'm doing on my days off, which is why I'm live streaming today instead of having a video ready for you. And hopefully then we can go back to the 2 videos a week and the better quality footage and so on, what I've discussed in previous video. That will also have the second entry to the giveaway put into that video. So we're looking in another maybe 2 weeks time for the relaunch, if all goes to plan. But the bits I'm actually really excited to talk about were some of the past projects, past things that I've had in my channel, going back, some from the very, very beginning that were supposed to happen, didn't happen, or partially happened and stopped. So we'll talk first of all. I don't know how many of you followed me long time ago, near the very beginning-ish. I started doing a Bug Realms Plus, which was actually a third video brought out by myself each week, which was just something on the sidelines. That wasn't really working for me. I think that was causing too much stress on myself, and I don't think it helped with the algorithm either on YouTube, because they got a lot lower views. So Plus is coming back, but it's not coming back in the way it was before. So if you have a spare browser open, a spare tab open, go back on YouTube and just put in Bug Realms Plus. It is going to be an entire new channel. It's not going to be taking over this one. It's going to be a casual channel. There's no videos on it yet, but what's going to be featured on Bug Realms Plus are purely invert based. There'll be no introductions. There'll be no outros from myself. There'll be none of me whatsoever. There'll be no talking, nothing. It's going to be purely clips of inverts doing their thing. Anything I find interesting, I will put on there. There will also be live streams within enclosures, because there are certain activities that's so hard for us to get on camera, and a lot of nocturnal creatures that when I will be putting these live streams on, they will be camera inside the enclosure, and you guys can keep clicking on and off as you please, and you might witness some of the strange behaviors that we don't always get to see on YouTube. For example, in the Eurocantha calcarata tank, I still to this day, well, I partially witnessed, but I've never fully witnessed them in combat, male versus male, for dominance. And that is something that does happen within those cultures, especially if the ratio of males is higher. And in this section, when all this overhatched and they've all matured, I actually have a higher ratio of males now. But because they're only out at night, that's not something I witness. Putting that on a live stream, I can also go back and check it myself as well and see what's going on there. So there is a whole new channel, purely invert based. There'll be none of me on there whatsoever. So if it's just the bugs that you're into and the spiders, then make sure you have that one. And if you want to witness some cool little things on live camera setups within enclosures, make sure to go and check out Bug Realms Plus. So I'm going to have a little read of your comments now, and then I will tell you about some of the other cool things that are going to be happening. So let's just have a little look down. I'm sorry if I don't reply to everything I read here, but I am taking on board everything you're saying. Oh yes, gentlemen who contact me regarding scorpions. I still haven't done it. Basically, the spot where we're supposed to have them is nowhere near where I actually live. So it's in my hometown, but it's not really near where I live. And it's going to be nighttime with a little UV torch is going to be your best bet of finding them in the cracks. But this wall that they are in is gigantic. I mean, absolutely massive. It's a dockyard wall. It is huge. It would take a long, long time to go through all of that area. And also, certain parts of that are not the nicest of areas in my hometown. So going there at night time can be a little bit dodgy. So that's why I haven't done that yet. But when I get a decent amount of time off work and I've got the spare time to just go out and really have a look in all those cracks, then I'll certainly look into looking those scorpions. Right, so I'm going to move on and talk about some of the other things that we're going to be seeing. So we've talked about Bug Realms Plus. It's a whole new channel. What else did we do? We had the UK bug enclosure that was starting to be built and never finished, never carried on. That actual original enclosure is gone, but the UK bug enclosure is coming back. So that, if people didn't know, was going to hold both predatory and prey items, all found within the UK in quite a large tank. So there is a lot of room, and we were going to work out the balance. We were going to see, do the predators outnumber the prey? Do the prey items hide too well for the predators? And we're going to basically see how it would naturally happen, but in obviously a smaller scale. So that is coming back, and it's actually going to go in what was the original coffee table enclosure, but it is no longer a coffee table enclosure. I'm not going to go into too much details, but that coffee table enclosure that you saw before is gone. That tank is going to be the new bug enclosure. Now, I know a few people were quite interested in the coffee table enclosure. They wanted to know what happened to it. Well, it kind of failed. The lighting wasn't right enough for the plants in there. The LEDs were cheap and they fell off, and it all just went to pot. And some of the animals in there didn't make it. Some of them I passed on to other people because the tank was not working. But we are having a brand new, way better coffee table enclosure. The coffee table enclosure 2.0 is going to be coming, and it's arriving tomorrow. It's not going to be featured on the channel for a bit. It's going to take a lot more tweaks to it, but the actual main bulk of this coffee table enclosure is arriving, and it's going to have a communal in it. It's not a tarantula communal, but it is going to be a communal, and I'm not going to tell you any more about it, even if you guess. And there will be a video when that's completely done, and it is going to be awesome. So when I have relaunched, I'm going to be covering that table so that you can't see it. But when it's complete, I'll have the cover off that table, and then every time you watch my videos from then on, that coffee table is going to be what is in front of me. So you can always see what is going on in there every time I record a video with me facing you. So we've got the new channel, we've got the bug enclosure is coming back, and we've got coffee table enclosure 2.0. Something else that's changing way back again, we did the clock enclosure, which had a false widow inside of it. That false widow that was given to me by, that particular one was given to me by John Waite from White Rose Tarantulas. That spider is still alive to this day, and I've had that quite a long time now. That clock enclosure is going to be having an upgrade too. It's going to be redesigned and put up on the wall in the new place. So we've got a video of that coming up too, which is going to be pretty cool. So if anyone hasn't seen the clock enclosure, it didn't get that many views because I was quite new to YouTube then, feel free to head on back and check it out. If you can't be bothered, that's cool. I will put some clips from that original footage in the new one when I redesign that enclosure. So basically most things that we talked about before that didn't happen or were not happening properly are all coming back. So that's pretty cool. The only thing that I used to do that I will not be bringing back was my shout out Sundays I used to do, where I'd shout out another YouTube channel. Back then, I didn't know very many people in the YouTube community and so on. And just doing a video based on a shout out didn't really hit how I wanted it to, but I will always shout out other channels who have had some influence to me or have been very friendly towards me or gifted me or I've done something for them and so on. Shout outs are still going to happen on my channel. I'm a very big player in this community, the best I can be. I haven't been very good with doing collaborations with people lately because I've been too busy. But aside from that, I feel I'm quite a community guy. So there will still be shout outs, but there won't be shout out Sundays. So aside from that, I think I've covered most things that used to happen on the channel and never finished. So if there's anything now, I'll read your comments again in a minute. If there is anything you can think of that you watched on the channel ages ago that hasn't been updated on, that you want to know what's going on with that specific animal, that enclosure, or that project that I may have forgotten to bring up today, please pop it in here because now is your chance to bring it up. So let's have a look at what people have said. Feed off my wallet. I'm sorry that some people have come and gone while I've been there. Dave's here. Hi, Dave. How you doing? Wow, I've missed quite a lot here. Sorry for everyone that's joined. I haven't been, for those that joined later on, I can't actually read the comments when I'm sat back like this. So that's why. Let's have a little look. You remember that video, Peter? That's cool. So what do people think about these projects coming back? Is anyone actually interested in the Bug Realms Plus side of things, the purely invert clips only? I mean, I'm going to go ahead with it either way, just for fun, because there's certain clips I get and I can't really make a video out of it properly, but it's a cool little clip. So things like that, even if they're just short little snippets, are going to be fired up on that page, as well as longer ones and things that really don't work alongside my normal channel, or I think are just really super cool purely on their own. That one clip that's cool on its own is going to be going onto that channel. So no one should feel that they have to subscribe to that, by the way, only if you're interested. I want to keep subscribers that are going to continue to watch the channel to be there. So if you think that's not something for you, feel free not to subscribe to that side channel. I'm glad you think it's a good idea, Dave. Thank you. Thanks, Greg. Mandy's still new to it. It's a big learning curve. This whole hobby is quite a big learning curve for everybody. So it's pretty cool. I love all your content, Sam. Looking forward to the new videos, no matter what they have content-wise. Oh, thanks, Peter. By the way, I've been looking through your channel quite a lot lately, Peter. I don't always comment as much anymore as I used to on things, but I do always watch things. And it's nice to see not just your sub count has got higher than it used to be, but the fact that your views are pretty awesome now. I think that's really, really cool. It's nice to have those set amount of hundreds at a time coming through. It's just really, really nice. Oh, I'm sorry you had a loss, Greg, while you were in hospital. That's gutting that. I'm trying to think. I've had some losses since I moved here as well. My last ghost mantis went. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with them. I haven't got a clue. So I was a bit gutted about that. Did I lose anything else? I might not have actually. That might have just been the only one. I've been doing some rehousings lately as well, off camera though. I found some cool new little acrylic enclosures that are really sweet, really cool for slings with cross ventilation in them. They were really, really cool, but they're expensive. And I'm starting to put some of my grown on slings, like maybe 3 centimeter or so, are going into these new cool enclosures. I'm going to be doing a lot of upgrading from foggy plastics and things like that to very visible enclosures, which is not a benefit for the invert. It's a benefit for me, basically, because I like to be able to see what's going on all the time. Because if I've missed out, forgotten to do a water dish or something like that, for example, you get a foggy enclosure and I've missed that one, I'm not going to notice it until I next go and check. When I've got something completely clear, I can see all the time if, oh, I've forgotten this or this needs doing. And it's so I guess in a way it does benefit them because my keeping would be better, if you see what I mean. Oh, the violet tree spider. Oh, they're quite difficult though, mate. They're a lot of the little like tappies and things. Tappies, Pseudoclomoris. They're all quite difficult as slings, um, especially with humidity as well. They can be tricky. I know a lot of people who have been losing them as slings. I'm not sure what size yours was though. Oh, Peter's got a kebab. Oh, I want a kebab. Hi, Ali. How you doing? Hi, everyone that's just joined. Are they saying codes that Kelly showed at the end of her last videos? The small acrylic ones for the slings, yes, that is the same as what she showed in her last video. I actually bought her one as a thank you for helping me move. So that's where she got her one from. And then she got another and I got a couple. So she's got obviously the bigger one as well, which is really, really nice. I've not got any of those, but those little ones are exactly the same, yeah. 2 centimeter sling. Yeah, the Cupras, yeah, the Vitry Spy, yeah, they are tough. I was fortunate. I had one before that I failed on, and one I'm doing now is doing quite well, and it's growing very, very fast. I reckon it's probably a male. I know you can't guarantee that by speed of molting, for example, but if I compare it to friends who was female and compare it to my others, but the other sling that passed away, this one is going up a lot quicker. And I found not all the time, and it's not a guarantee, but with my personal collection, a few of them that have grown up quicker, I have guessed to just be male, and every single one that I have guessed to be male has been male when I've checked through the molt. So, and I've had a lot of males lately, a lot. Yeah, chili con carne. Oh, you're all making me hungry. See, I'm missing out food here for this live stream. They're having something to eat, and I've just sat in here on my own with nothing to eat. Oh, you're all eating. Everyone you eating. You're gonna get a Portsmouth mystery box. Yeah, I've always done well with Portsmouth mystery box. I do enjoy them. Yeah, of course. Well, you know what? I actually discussed everything a lot quicker than I thought. I'm pretty sure I've missed some bits out here that I was going to tell you about. I've completely lost it now. Oh, merchandise is something I was going to bring up as well. That is still under works. The designs are better. They're not as perfect as I want them to be. And by the time the relaunch comes, they are probably just going to be the better versions that have been worked on. Some of them I really, really like. Some of them haven't quite worked out. So I'm still going to do a relaunch with the new merch, but some of it isn't going to be quite as up to scratch as I wanted it to. But you live and learn. And I had a lot of ideas, and the ideas weren't quite working. So that's going to be coming out too. So that's going to be worth a check. It's still worth having it as a win for a giveaway, though, I think, especially some in particular. I'm not going to tell you what each one is because there's one coming out as well that is pretty cool. I can't go into details of it all. Sorry, I'm just allowing some comments to come through here. I've never been to a Doncaster show. Never ever been. I'd like to do that one day. I'm trying to catch up with your comments here. Hi mate, how you doing? Hello to everyone that's just joined. If you want your own merch, do it. Just do it. If you don't want the hassle of creating a merchandising page for everybody, you can simply, my first designs with my old logo were just done through websites, Vistaprint, I think I got my first one done through. It's only later I went onto the merch. Oh, and the other thing about my merchandise actually was I was originally going to start making them on another platform to make them slightly cheaper, but then I decided not to, because this one, for example, here was bought. This one's still available at the moment, the limited edition um, Guild of Assassins one, so doing my assassin bugs. This one was bought by myself off my own merch site, and the fabric feels nice. There's been no fading in the wash. The colours have come out fine, and the envelopes I get them in, you have my little logo on there, and there's a letter with thanks. It's really personal. It's nicely presented. It's nicely wrapped, and it's decent quality. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to stick with T-Mill, which is what I use. Because if anyone wants to see that merchandise site, by the way, just click on one of my previous videos, and it will be in the description below. Even if you just want to have a look, because obviously that's all going to be redone soon. So pretty much most things on there right now are going to be changed. So if anyone does decide they want something that's a current design, you may want to go for it sooner rather than later, because soon that's going to be wiped off and they'll have the new designs. But basically I'm sticking with them even though they're more expensive, because you get what you pay for basically. And I don't want to, I know some, I'm not going to name them, but I know some people have bought merch from other YouTubers using cheaper sites, and the merch has come back faded, discolored, and so on, and then they've had to go through refunds. And I don't want to risk something like that happening, because it's very off-putting for someone to have purchased something with their hard-earned money and it hasn't come like it's displayed on the screen. So that's why I'm going to stick with, and if people don't want to pay 20 quid for a t-shirt, of which I only gain I think like £1.80 by the way from it, it's not greed for me, it's more the fact that it's nice to advertise it, is it's more its purpose for me. um, if you don't want to pay that, just don't pay it, you know. And if you want one, well enough, there's a lot of branded t-shirts in the world that are worth a lot more money than that, and you know, they're also created very poorly in my opinion, but we're not going to go into that topic. Oh, your DWA isn't happening. Oh, that's gutting. What should Lee treat himself to? Birthday next Wednesday. What should I treat myself to? What invite would you get? Uh, there's quite a lot of things on my list right now. Some people I know have got things I'm after as well, but I can't afford it right now. Dragon Head Katydid is one big thing on my list, and I know someone that's got them. Um, I can't afford them. Basically, they're not a cheap species. In the world of tarantulas, I want Lassidora klugi. I know so many legs had one. Don't know if they still do, but I don't have any money right now. I've got to put all my money into this show. And by the way, the things I'm going to be picking up, hopefully, if they're there, fingers crossed, at the next show at Bedford, are things that are going to be in the new coffee table enclosure. So if anyone's there and they have a look in my bag, likelihood is that's going to be part of the communal, but I'm not going to tell anyone what it is. And if you do spot it, keep it to yourselves, because it's going to be epic, providing I can find the inverts I'm looking for. I'm hoping to mix 3 different types into this, 2 of which I know from experience have lived fine together. One is a little bit hit and miss, but the size of this enclosure gives it enough for its own space. So I'm hoping it would work. But that's how you learn. You've got to try things. You know, if I've made a mistake, I've made a mistake. I'd hold my hands up to it. But yeah, so basically, aside from enclosures, that's all I'm looking for at this show. But if I don't find the inverts I'm after, then I'm going to go and pick up some of the teas or stick insects that I'm after. Oh, I've lost where we are on these comments here now. I still have stuff here for you, Sam. I'm not giving that to show. What stuff have you got for me? Invert show in September. Bedford is September, and Brighton's November. I'm going to both anyway. So yes, it seems like a few of us are going to be going to this Bedford show, which I'm really excited about. I'm also, by the way, I don't know where you guys are staying, anyone that's going, but I went as cheap as I could, and I've got some grotty pub that's got no separate toilet, has got terrible reviews. One person, my friend told me, pooed in a bucket. It's known for drugs and Larry drunks, but you know what? I'm only going there to sleep, so I need it cheap, and it cost me 20 quid to sleep in this pub. So yeah, but it's 5-minute drive from the actual show as well, so I'm not going to complain there. And that's with Google times, it's probably like a 3-minute drive. So yeah, I'm going to be in some grotty hellhole for one night. So if I don't show up at Bedford, you know I've been brutally murdered in this weird pub. Hi, Transfers America. How are you doing? It's a certain tarantula communal. Again, I'm not going to go into it. It's not a Balfouri communal, by the way, although I do intend on having I'd like to get a much larger scale when it comes to Balfouri communal. But anyway, it's not that. I'm straying away from that as a main idea for now because it's quite common. But the one that I want to be going for as a communal is not that commonly seen as far as I'm aware. And it is a very communal species, so it is fine. Oh, those slings. Oh, I forgot you had all them millions of slings. Well, not millions, but you know what I mean. Oh, I do love them, and I still love my phallus. I've got to feed my phallus today, actually. I'm not doing it here because I don't want anyone to see what's going on in my room, and I am not to bring the inverts down here unless it's for specific filming when no one else is home. So I can't show you any today. Don't get murdered in a weird pub. Oh, you're at work on your break. Oh, I'm glad you joined me while you're on your break. That makes me feel good. Anything from lions to spiders, yeah. Let's not buy a lion. So I'm not going to be too much longer on here just because I actually do need to eat. I'm sorry I haven't got a normal video to come out this week either. So let me know which are you most excited for? I mean, to me, the biggest excitement for me is the redoing of a coffee table enclosure. I just hope that it does arrive tomorrow as planned. I actually got someone to pick that up on my behalf, and I paid them for it. So let's hope they actually show up, because otherwise I'm going to be a lot of money down. I spent a lot more on this one than I did on my previous one. Hi Kelly, how you doing? You've joined a bit late. I'm not going to be on much longer. £90 mystery box unboxing on my channel tomorrow. Oh, that'd be awesome. I do like mystery, but I know a lot of people. It's quite mixed, isn't it, with mystery boxes? Some people are like, why would you get them? You know, go for what you want. But for me, I enjoy them, and I know there's a lot of mystery box unboxings on YouTube, and it seems to be getting a bit repetitive. But I still enjoy it myself because the reason I purchase myself is I like that excitement. I'm willing to care for anything that comes in that box. If I get a double of something that I don't want a double of, I pass that on to friends. So it's not about the money spent for me. I would get enjoyment out of whatever comes in that box, period. And to have it as a surprise to me, it does excite me. And I still love watching other people open them. So, you know, that's just my personal opinion. I know a lot of people feel differently about mystery boxes, but I love them. I love them all around. To tell you what, talking mystery boxes, what I wish I picked up at the last show, Western show, and I didn't, was Spider Shop's small, cheaper box, 25 quid, 30 quid, something like that, mystery box of Gimps. I really wish had the money to pick that up right near the end, because it was still there, I think, when I left, or it was still there within the last hour of the show or something like that. So that little box of Gimps would have been really, really cool. And on their site, I don't know if they've still got it on there, they had a one with 4 tarantulas in for 70 quid, and I ain't got 70 quid just to spare. But I reckon there'd be something pretty awesome in that box, because they lower the prices considerably for missing limbs. So I will certainly let you know how the table turns out. I'm really excited for it. Oh, you did text me say you had to go out, did you? Oh yeah, so you have. I've just texted to ruin your life, said Kelly. I'll join you after I've gone to Tesco. Now everyone knows where you've been. Your dad bought them Gimp mystery boxes. What was in that box, out of curiosity, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, you got a Versi in your mystery box. That's quite nice. Oh, I'm hungry. I've had some stick insects hatch. These are down here that you can have a look at. So I gave away my last remaining Pseudophasma subacterum to Princess Sophie Pink. And in here, my little hatchery, we've got some hatching. So I don't know how well. I've never kept these from hatchlings before, so I might fail them, but we should do okay, although they don't look like they've been nibbling much from the leaves, so I might have to do some ripping of some leaves. But if these turn out okay, probably won't be ready for Bedford, but anyone going to Brighton, if I get a decent hatch out of these, I might be able to pass them on to a few people, but no promises at the moment, because dealing with freshly hatched nymphs can be touch and go. So that's pretty cool. I enjoyed mystery boxes when I was just a hobbyist, but when I started to help trade, I hate them with a passion. They're so awkward to do for people. Yeah, I could imagine it from the other end. Hi DEA Exotics, how you doing, man? Don't worry about being late. You may have to replay this to kind of figure out what the bits were. Just skip in about 6-7 minutes into the video. That's when I'll start explaining everything. We're on just the chatting end of this live now. So how's your day going? It's going all right. I spent the whole day cleaning my old flat. I've got 2 days off, today and tomorrow, and I think I have to go back and clean again tomorrow, because next week is my last chance of cleaning that place up. And it was a lot bigger than it may have looked on the camera, my old place. So it's been an absolute nightmare. Everything's out of there apart from cleaning products. It's been everything. I've had to repaint certain parts of walls. The carpets are so difficult to clean. Every cupboard, everything, just, oh, it's been an absolute nightmare. But my full upstairs of that place is done now, minus a bit of hoovering. So, and my kitchen is almost finished. So it's mostly my big front room where I used to have my studio with the big black bits in the background. That is pretty gross. That really needs cleaning up. Bye, Tarantulas America. Thanks for joining, buddy. Was there anything about the tea blondie for beginners? Blonde, so what Dave put. Blondies are okay. Make sure you research a set, so grow fairly quick. And steps wrong, you have more issues. Yeah, so they're just prepare for hares as well with those. I would, if you, I don't know how to put it, but they're nasty. Not the tarantula. The hares are pretty savage on a blondie, so that's something that you will have to bear in mind. I mean, I'm actually asthmatic, although I've never. My blondie's small at the minute, but I have much larger teas with urticating hares, and they haven't caused me any issues. I haven't even really gained much skin issues either. I've changed substrates and I've dealt with molts and everything without wearing any kind of protection. Just scoop my hand in where old malt mats were when I've rehoused something like way down the line. There was still the old malt mat, and I've never really gained a reaction. I think I've been quite lucky that way. But if you're very susceptible to the hares, then that's something to really bear in mind if you want to get Theraphosa. No, Kelly, you're not coming. You can't see Greg in a few weeks because I'm going without you. Enjoy your kebab, Peter. Kelly, Peter had a kebab. I want a kebab. Ah, watching from Sweden. Hello. How often they eat depends. When you say walking sticks, it depends which species you've got, my friend. There's over 3,000 documented species, and they're a lot of them are quite different from one another. So it depends on your exact species. And feel free to private message me on Facebook if you'd rather, and I can try and talk you through some bits there if that's easier. Um, but yeah, they'll eat normally nighttime. Most species will eat a nocturnal, and they will start munching away throughout the night. It also depends on the size they are as well as to how much they'll take. There are a lot of small nymphs you won't even notice the nibbles and the edges of the leaves for a while until they're a bit bigger. I want kebab. I want one too. It was okay-ish, Peter. Well, should have sent it my way. I, I could I could die for a kebab right now. I really want to make you a show this year. Well, Lee, go to. You've got Bedford in September. You've got Brighton in November. As far as I'm aware, that's all you've got left this year, unless I'm thinking there's some other shows around that I don't know of. I don't really tend to go to any of the reptile ones just because, well, no real reason. They're normally out the way. And Lee, as well, failing going to a show, you could just come to Plymouth. You've got my entire setup. You've got Kelly's setup. You've got Al from Al's Arachnid setup. You've got Gav from Gav's Tarantulas setup. And you've got Beth from Best Pet to Arachnobeth setup. You've got all those YouTubers in one hometown. So might even be better than a show. Bedford is going to be the best of the UK shows for inverts that's left. There's no one in December. Not that I know of. I could be wrong. But if there is one in December, someone let me know. Spidey V in the house. Hello, mate. How you doing? I'm full of great ideas, Cal. That's why. I don't drive either, Lee. That's why I rely on Kelly to do all my taxiing for me. I just throw money at her and say, take me here. Or I don't throw money at her and still say, take me here. Either way. When I first read that, Greg, when it says I'd love to visit you sometime, and then it said Kelly in the brackets, I first skipped my own thing, and I thought it said I'd love to visit you, Kelly, and I was about to get really offended on the webcam. But yeah, I would love for you to come down. December shows reptiles mainly with inverts allowed. Where is it? Where is this Decemberish show? What's happening with that? I don't know. How what money? Hey, I'll pay my way for these shows. I do pay my way, everyone. I don't just make her drive me and give her nothing. Oh, the Doncaster show is the one in. Oh, is it? For some reason, I thought that was earlier in the year. I'm thinking of something different. Might have been thinking of the Birmingham one, actually. You done much today, Cal? How's well? Oh, you need to message me stuff to do with work as well. I want to know what happened today if you were around when it happened. You know what I'm talking about, I'm sure. Ah, 3 Donny shows a year. That would be why I didn't know. I've never been to one. This is money from a birthday present. I could get you something cheap for sure. I am a bit strapped for cash, but something little that you would enjoy, I could certainly get. But I do tend to get overexcited, so you might have to just, I don't know, drive into me and say, "Oi, where's my present?" Yeah, I will text you after. What advice would you give for a small channel like mine on how to grow? That could be quite a long discussion, so I'll keep that as brief as I can. The only things growing, the best advice I can give you is don't expect it to grow. That sounds mean, but if you can certainly work on something, put a lot of time and a lot of effort into something by all means, but never have an expectation, because there are a lot of channels I know that, for example, I believe should be way above myself, and I mean way above it, and that they're below me, not below me as people, but in subscriber count, for example, or view count. And I can't understand that whatsoever. There are a few people, there's a few people who also know some of the people I might be talking about here that deserve much, much higher than what I get. And there's also people, it's to do with views and subscribers. You see, I might be on the 3K subscriber count. My views are not as high as some other people that I know that are on 1,000 subscribers or 1.5 or 2,000 subscribers. There's people with a lot less than me that still get higher views, and that's kind of what's important in the long run, is gaining the views, not the sub count. So be yourself. Never try and be someone else. Never try and be someone who isn't you. Never try and, I mean, we all have a kind of YouTube face. We've all got to try and be happier on the camera, for example, or something. But always keep it about you and your passion and your love for anything on your channel, and don't have expectations. And in time, it will happen. And I mean, for me, if you want my exact story, I started a lot of collaboration work with people. I have very big passion in what I do. I put a lot of time, money, and effort into upgrading my equipment. So my camera that I got and my lighting, I'm still paying off now. Um, I gave out posters to the people from the community. Now that wasn't for self gain. I never asked a single person to put that on a video. But going back a while, Exotics Lair, when he got his, he told me he was going to make a video, and he will still have the messages. I've even got them as proof. I told him he does not need to make a video out of it. It was a gift, but he did, and I gained a fair chunk of people that way. But they're dead subscribers. See, they clicked it because they saw my name on a bigger channel. But what I want are people that are enjoying my content. That's what I want. So just having a certain subscriber count. I mean, I passed my 1,000 because of that, my first 1,000, and it didn't mean anything. I mean, it was lovely to have, but it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't make you any different. They were just people clicking a button because someone that's got a lot of viewers shouted me out. That was all. So, you know, what's important is you enjoy your channel overall. Oh, team and how to use tags properly. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, tags are important. Thumbnails as well. Eye-catching thumbnails tend to work. And what I tend to do is I copy and paste a lot of my description. I shouldn't really, because even words you put in your description can flag up. There are channels that have way less than what they deserve. I completely agree. See you later, DA Exotics. Take care, bud. No visiting Peter without me, Cal. That doesn't happen. So I'm trying to catch up here. Uncle Pete. I actually have an Uncle Pete. That's quite funny. I only want to reach 1K so I can start doing lives again. Yeah, you'll get there easily, Peter. I can guarantee you now. You're one of the probably the most loved people within that community that there is. That's in my personal opinion. You're very, very well loved. It's just getting you out there a little bit more, and you'll hit that in no time, my friend. No time at all. I'm sorry to ask what tags. So tags are, you have a tag section when you upload a video, and those tags are, if somebody's searching on YouTube, for example, and somebody's searching, I don't know, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but they've put in something they were looking for. If that word is in your tags, you've got a higher chance of it being seen. You know, when you, so for example, my clock enclosure, yeah. So not that anyone would type in clock enclosure, it doesn't really happen. So it's a bad example. But if somebody was looking for how to do something with a clock, for example, there is that slight chance then that my one will come up because it's got the word clock in a tag. Or if they're looking on certain unique enclosure builds or something, and I've tagged unique enclosure as one of my tags for my videos, it's more likely mine is then going to appear to that person. I'll probably explain that really badly, but yeah, just read what Dave put in House of Bugs. He explains things way better than me. I look forward to watching that, Peter. I don't feel silly. It's all a learning curve. There's so much I didn't know about YouTube that I've learned from other people. Ah, look, there's the man himself, the man, the myth, the legend. Good old Invertebrarian. Beautiful channel. One thing you're not good at is thumbnails. I use Canva to create my thumbnails. So you can go on the Canva website. It's free to use. There are paid parts of it. Like if you want to use a certain symbol that's there, clip art, you have to pay for it. But most stuff's free. Design it yourself. There's, I can't remember the exact size for a thumbnail, but if you go into Canva, type in YouTube thumbnails, there's normally an already set size, and you can mess around on there. That's what I use, but people will use different things. There's certain apps for them as well, and just mess around with your creativity and see what you can come up with. You got people visiting tomorrow, Peter? I'm gutted. Why am I not one of those people? You should be able to just portal me to your home. I would love to come and visit. Right, guys, I'm going to call it a day in, well, we'll give it just under the 7-minute mark. So we hit the hour mark on here, and then I'm going to eat. So if anyone's actually got any further questions for me, whether it's just something random or something that we talked about earlier, then now's your chance. Hi, Bug World, how you doing? And where we were talking earlier about channels that deserve to have much more in their subscriber count than they do, the Invertebrarian is one of those people. So if you haven't already, most of you know him, but if you don't, go on there, the Invertebrarian, and check out his channel. Absolutely awesome channel. If I can ever find a way of getting to you, Peter, I will. I'll figure out what it takes to drive. If Kelly would ever be willing to drive to yours, we can try and make that happen. But if that's going to be too difficult, then it's going to be really hard via public transport. I think I looked at public transport and I had to go such a weird route to get to your sort of area that it was something like 8 odd hours for something that shouldn't take anywhere near that long. And I feel when I started doing the show, what do you mean by doing the show? Do you mean attending the shows, or do you mean doing the show as in something on YouTube? trying to be most nervous of. But in my collection, um, there's none majorly. My Theraphosa hypothesis, or that's how I pronounce it, there's different ways of pronouncing it, frightened the life out of me last time. Where I went to feed it, I wasn't paying attention, and it went, and it actually almost got out from the glass. It basically charged. I think where I'd moved the prey when I wasn't looking, where I'd gone like that, it jumped out. And as the glass door fell, it didn't catch its legs, but the legs slid on the glass, and it almost got out. And that needs serious rehoming right now. That home is not suitable enough for that tarantula. I was hoping to keep it in there for a molt or two. Not going to happen. So there'll be a rehousing of that tarantula soon. Oh, Peter, that would be class. Please do that. Worst what happens is we will die. Yeah, well, you got to go sometime. Oh, my YouTube videos. When I started doing that, I didn't expect anything when I started, so I thought it would just be cool to document my stuff, and if people watch, that's great, and I'll go back and view it. And as my thing built up, I got more and more excited about doing it. And you know what? It's just an enjoyment for me. Sometimes it does feel like work because I keep to a schedule. Not everyone keeps to a schedule. I think life would be so much easier as a casual YouTuber. But now I've got so into doing it that I do want to go further. I don't ever expect to be a top YouTuber, a high end YouTuber, but I'd like to have, like, to get to maybe a 10K mark by the end of whenever, by the time I quit or I just keep on going. It would be nice. My main goal was to hit the 1K, and I gave myself 3 years to hit 1K, and I did it in one. So I'm very, very pleased with that. And yeah, it was great for me. I always was into like theatre, acting, and things like that. And although I don't act on myself on the camera, it was still a way to pursue that sort of entertainment side that I had in me. And I just really enjoy it, still do to this day. Hi, Jennifer. Right, guys, I'm going in another 2.5 minutes. So sorry, I'm just reading, by the way. Your goal's 500. That's a good goal to have. Just gonna have to take your word. How much you charge to visit? You could make an absolute fortune. I know you wouldn't, but you could. The new hobby. So I drag people down for tours. The new hobby. Ooh, I'd love to see. You'll have to give me more information on that privately. Okay, guys, thanks for chatting. Have a good evening, everyone. Yeah, thanks for joining. I really appreciate that. I'm going to be off in a minute and a half anyway myself. So yeah, I appreciate you all coming along, by the way. It's been really nice to have a chat. I'm sorry I'm not very upbeat today, but I am knackered. And I've also got a million things going around in here of what needs doing. So, right, as we've got 1 minute left, I'm going to say my goodbyes. If anyone wants to add anything quickly, please do so. Remember, guys, to check out each other's channels. There's a lot of YouTubers here, so make sure to check out one another's channels. All right, yeah. So, who's messaged me here? It's not one of you guys, is it? Oh, Princess Sophie Pink's mum. Ah, cute. Right, yeah. Well, thanks for joining, everyone. It's been an absolute pleasure. Really enjoyed it. It's nice to catch up with a few of you here that I haven't spoke to for quite a while now, aside from in the odd comments. Hi, KK Slimes. We are going to be off now. Remember, if anyone missed the main point of this video, it will be put back up a minute. It takes time to process, and then the live will be there on my channel. Skip into about 6 or 7 minutes because I think I went past my 5-minute time. and we start going over actually what was to be explained here. Or you guys can message me privately. I'm going to be quite busy this evening, but I will get back to each and every one of you, whether it's later on or tomorrow. But yeah, if you don't want to rewatch the live, just PM me and I'll explain the main points of this video. Right, I'm gone, guys. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks all for joining. And those of you going to Bedford, see you there. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.